Okay, so for any particular equation, we can't use the same letter to represent two different numbers at the same time. But what about the other way around? Could we use two different letters to represent the same number? Yes, and here's an example of that. Let's say you have the equation a plus b equals 2. What could a and b stand for so that the equation's true? Well, if a was 0 and b was 2, then the equation would be true. Or we could switch them around. If a was 2 and b was 0, the equation would also be true. But there's another possibility. If a was 1 and b was also 1, that would make the equation true, right? So even though a and b are different symbols and would usually be used to represent different numbers, there are times when they might happen to represent the same number. Oh, and this problem can help us understand something very important about how symbols are used in algebra. Did you notice that there were different possible solutions for this equation? In other words, b could have the value 0, 1, or 2 depending on what the value of a was. If a is 0, then b must be 2. If a is 1, then b must be 1. And if a is 2, then b must be 0. b can't have two different values at the same time, but its value can change over time if the value of a changes. In algebra, b is what's called a variable because its value can vary or change. In fact, in this equation, both a and b are variables because their values will change depending on the value of each other. Actually, it's really common in algebra to refer to any letter as a variable, since letters can stand for different values in different problems.